Yeah.
So it's nice that we do an hour.
Jerry, was that our item number 10 last night that was tabled until the two solicitors
Yes.
talked? Okay, I thought it was, but you didn't explain what item it was, I didn't have the
Yeah.
agenda in front of me.
Leave them get the
Yep.
fine points down.
Yep.
I'd be willing to give it to the county for $5.
Quickie today.
I know it was.
I heard that.
Hey, we both do.
Sometimes you can get that.
Yeah.
Call the meeting of Crawford County Board of Commissioners to order. Please rise for a moment of silence, prayer, and the pledge of allegiance. Oh God, tomorrow is Patriots' Day, which occurs every September 11th of each year. It is a day designated in memory of nearly 3,000 who died on September 11th, 2001. Let us pray for emergency responders that respond daily to all types of incidents and attacks throughout our country. We ask this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held September 3rd, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, are there any guests concerning county business at this time? This is Bruce Screwing.
Yes, Jerry Strubing or Jim Thorpe here. I'm just wondering, is there any movement on getting a home rule charter going? Or home rule in the county here?
No.
You had something going on.
Jerry, you know, I'm a big supporter of home rule.
Yeah, good, I'm glad.
And I will continue to actively pursue it over the next couple of years.
Yeah, 5 commissioners at $7,000 is better than 3 commissioners at $80,000.
Yeah, I think we have 3 pretty good models and 3
Yeah,
neighboring
there you
counties
go.
that have it. Yeah.
Yep, there's a lot of talent out there.
Just
Thank
let me
you.
point out one thing, that most of the home rule counties, if not all, are larger class counties. So, and they are an elected executive director, executive, county executive.
Yeah.
What would that have to do with it, Wayne, in your opinion?
It's just the way type of government, and I pointed out that it's usually on the larger scale or more populous counties that the type of government exists. So there's pros and cons to both.
Let's be the first small county then.
I
Hear,
oppose
hear.
it. I'll go on record as opposing it now.
Jerry, I need 1,233 signers of a petition. That's all we gotta do. We get it on the ballot for a study
I
commission.
can only duplicate my signature to that place.
We only ask you to sign it once, Jerry.
There you go.
Okay. Any other guests concerning county business? And hearing none, we'll move on.
The report of executive session held.
There are none.
Department reports, the budget transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Supplemental appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Expenditures, approval of check numbers 215378 through 215594 for expenditures through the general fund clearing account totaling $1,832,547.04.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The treasurer's report.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The personnel report.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Children and Youth for approval and execution, the fiscal year 2020-2021 purchase a service agreement, in-home provider agreement with Brian Albaco, doing business as Homestead Family Services of Allentown, Pennsylvania, as per the attached rates.
Move to.
No, go ahead, I'll second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Knutson?
yes,
A purchase of service agreement for approval and execution of purchase of service agreement under the Solar Soil contract with Edwards Business Systems of Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, for a new BizHub copier and printer at the cost of $6,582 with black and white copy charges and color copy charges billed quarterly, located in the controller's office. The machine maintenance will be fixed for the first 3 years.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes.
There's no solicitor's report. Further business?
Just on the further business, I just want to announce publicly that we will be having a Patriots Day service tomorrow morning in Josiah White Park at 8:40 a.m.
Okay.
Please attend.
Okay, Commissioners' report. Mr. Honor?
None at this time.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yeah, two things, and they are marked, they're budget related. So thank you so much for getting the draft guidance out to all the departments and moving forward on that. And in regards to that, we've received correspondence right from the start who's seeking continued support from the commissioners. And I just wanted to applaud them for such a detailed information in regards to what they do for the community and justifying continued taxpayer assistance to their program right from the start, which is an education-focused program. And I understand the Jim Thorpe Area School District is actually the grantee to that program. So thanks so much for their strong justification for continued support for that program. And if I'll ask the controller a question, Mark, if you don't mind. Is there anything in the county code that would preclude the county from publishing a draft or tentative budget prior to the second Tuesday in November of every year?
I'm not sure, I don't know that.
Okay, if you could check on that for us. Again, I am a firm believer that a draft budget should be published before any general elections. I want to ensure that there's not anything I'm unaware of or that I missed in the county code that would preclude serious consideration of doing that. Again, for transparency and to ensure that when individuals are voting, they're voting from a position of being well informed and not being surprised with post-election of budget challenges.
I think that's more of a question for the solicitor than the controller.
Yeah.
And indeed, it may be, so I will, if we could go ahead.
The county solicitor or my solicitor?
Both.
Yeah, yeah. But again, you manage the timeline, right? So once you find out if there's any obstacle, you drive the budget process. So again, there's also, is it feasible from a workload, work management perspective and others?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Won't even go into it now.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, Mark. That's all I have.
Mr. Notstein?
that's all I have for today. Meeting adjourned. And at this time, I'd like to call the election board meeting of September 10th to order. Who will the minutes?
First item is the approval of the minutes of the election board meeting held on August 13th, 2020.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, are there any guests concerning election board business at this time? Okay, hearing none, I'd like to open up a discussion on the issues we have at in the elections office right now. We have over 7,300 applications for mail-in ballots. The issues that we have been facing in the election office, we have been sending quite a few people down there to assist in the workload. We have the 4 part-time positions, just about working full-time on all of them. Our staff has been going on, as well as other staff members from other departments, such as assessment was down yesterday. I think they have 2 down there today. Some of our people, 4 of them were there till 9:30 last night working. They had 30 precincts complete. We are receiving a lot of applications, duplicate applications. Now, these applications that are being mailed out to everyone are not coming from Carbon County, although they do have our address on there. People are filling out multiple applications for mail-in ballots. And this is creating a huge problem, a duplication problem. The applications are not in order, alphabetical order. We have people sending in 2, 3, and 4 applications. You do not, I repeat this, you do not have to send in more than 1 application for a mail-in ballot. It is just creating more and more work for our personnel. They have to go through and find, match the numbers up and make sure we don't have duplications. The addresses that are coming back are old mailing lists, and it has their addresses typed in already, and their old mailing list, and are a lot of changes there. So we have a lot of difficulty in applying or processing all these applications. We were told, according to Lisa Dart, yesterday they were told by Kathy Dropmore, Secretary of State, they want the ballots to go out on Monday. We have not even received the ballots yet from the state as of this last night. They didn't have them. Whether we got them or not, I don't know today yet. They didn't this morning yet when I talked to her. We have to receive the certified ballot from the state, have to be printed. We have to then mail them out to all these people and process them with a label on, mail them, and there is no way. Now, people are gonna see in the news media that the ballots are supposed to go out Monday, and I can tell you this, I don't know how it's gonna happen, because we have not received those certified ballots yet from the state, so how can it happen? I don't want the county being blamed, or our election office being blamed for anything that we cannot control whatsoever. They have changed the date of the applications for mail-in ballots to 7 days before the election. There's currently proposed legislation to change that back to at least 2 weeks before, because till we get them, they put them in the mail, till we get them and mail them back to the constituent, and they're supposed to mail it back by a certain time. It's just, with the Postal Service, there's a lot of uncertainty whether they would have them in time. I would strongly, if you're gonna do a mail-in application, get your application in now for that mail-in ballot, or it may come in too late for the election. We can only do so much in that election office. I have pointed out how many extra people we've been putting on. We've got 30 precincts completed as of last night. That's why they stayed so late, because they didn't want to leave in the middle of a precinct. So there's 30 complete. We've got about 20 more to go, so I'm sure they're going to be working late tonight again, as well tomorrow, and possibly even Saturday, get those other 20 done. Now, I'm not sure whether it's the bigger or smaller precincts, if they're just going by the numbers, or how that's occurring right now. But they are extremely busy in that office. So I wanted to point that out. And as this morning, we also received an email from Lisa Dart that she just received, that voters with disabilities will now have the ability to mark their absentee ballot or mail-in ballot remotely to provide a legal requirement, accessible means to the caster ballot. So there's a whole a list of things, and I can give you a copy of this, that the state just keeps changing things at the last minute, and they're just multiplying our problems here on a county level and trying to conduct a good, clean election. They can't keep changing in the middle of the game like they have been doing. They've got to get this information out to us so we can get it to the voters in a timely fashion. Some of the other thoughts, but from from what I understand, there has been one county where everyone in the election office quit. There have been 11 other counties where the election directors have quit, and possibility of more quitting in the future because of the way this election is being conducted and the stress and the amount of work that is being put on the local elected officials or the election offices in particular, so. Okay, that's all I have.
Yeah, and I just wanna say something about that too. Like yesterday I came home and it was my third application I got. I never applied for it, I vote, I go to the polls and vote. And I think one of the biggest things that is confusing people, they ask me, are you allowed to vote? Yes, you can go to vote. I think people are getting confused that they're getting all these, that they're supposed to mail in, and they're thinking that you can't go to the poll. Yes, you can mail in and you can go to the polls. So if you were planning on going to the polls, don't think you have to fill that application out. You know, and I think that's where it's confusing to people. People think, oh, but we're not gonna have the polls open. Yes, they will be. And they're sending, and I said, like for me, I never even asked for an application. And this is my third one I got yesterday, and it actually came from Harrisburg. So I don't know what the group was,
And
but,
there's multiple groups mailing out applications,
Yeah.
and that's why I refer
and
back
it
to
has,
incorrect addresses.
yeah, and it even has Carbon counties, you know, the address, they have everything on where to mail it back, and it's not even from our county. So that's really confusing to the people.
Yeah, and I would add, when it comes to the outdated mailing list, all of us, especially those who have motor vehicle licenses, you have an opportunity to update your voting address, your mailing address, when you go to renew your driver's license. Again, help us keep that list as accurate as possible, help the state keep that list as accurate as possible, and choose the option to have that address updated if necessary when you renew your motor vehicle license or your state ID card that you can also get from PennDOT. That's all I have.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take away from those with the disabilities and that, but the state has got to get this information out to the voters in a more timely fashion and not putting everything in the counties at the last minute. They're stressing them out, they're rushing to get things done, and that's when mistakes are made. And I just have a big fear statewide that, you know, I'm concerned about with the outcome of the election process here in Pennsylvania. I mean, the counties, all the counties are doing the best they can to make it, you know, keep everything in order and keep their numbers, preventing fraud, et cetera, multiple ballots and everything. So we're doing what we can, and we're gonna hope and pray for the best. Okay, that's all I have. Any other further business for election board? Hearing none, meeting adjourned. How did it go? Lose meeting of treasurer off? No. Kelly?
Good morning. The only thing, I was curious about how much Chuck Park Lake did this year compared to last year with all the restrictions and.
We can give you the numbers. I'll email them to you. I think I responded to your email. We got an updated, as of 31 August, we have updated numbers, and we can provide those. I will tell you, when it came to specifically individual access to the beach admissions, that was down $140,000. Camping was down a little bit.
Okay, I would appreciate
Yep.
those numbers and any information that you have on the election changes. I would take copies. Thank you.
One question for you, Wayne. Where is this Monday date coming from? People, why are people expecting a mail-in ballot by Monday when they are, like, where does this Monday date come
Supposedly,
from?
the Secretary of State, Kathy Drockbar, has told the election offices that they want them mailed out Monday.
Well, it's funny because Lehigh County Executive Phillips Armstrong said that the Green Party still doesn't have their presidential
Yeah, that's
candidate
the
in. So how do you print when there's a
That's
name?
the problem.
They're holding up the joint, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
The Green
Well,
Party.
That's the problem. The ballots have not been certified by the state, and it's those lawsuits in the state court system that are holding up the ballots. And we can't mail them out until everything is settled in Harrisburg. So that's what the holdup is exactly, that's the problem. There, we don't even know who the candidates are for sure that have to be on that ballot. So how can we send it out to the printer, get it back, get it in the envelopes and mail it to the people? It's just impossible.
And Chris, my last question for you, you said about like a home rule study, what would that even look like? A home rule
It's a study commission. What happens is, you can either get a study commission set up by two ways. One is basically the commissioners doing a resolution to stand up a study commission, which is really a referendum that goes to the voters. The second way, if you don't have, the commissioner's support, you can do a petition. And you get 5% of the voters in the last governor race to sign a petition to stand up a study commission. That becomes a vote. You have 7, 9, or 11 members that are voted to do a study commission. Then that study commission comes back with a recommendation. Either do a referendum to adopt home rule, or leave the status quo, or choose another form of county administration and government. And that takes place over about an 18-month period, that study.
Okay, that's all I have, thank you everyone.
And that actually was on Good Morning America. They announced that there were 2 states, and one of them was Pennsylvania, that's putting the ballots out this morning. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
came in and said to Wayne, I said, I didn't know we even had the ballots done. And we're supposed to send them out on Monday, like,
Good Morning America, doing
Yeah, they were-
doing good work, I guess, right? Making me look bad. I tell you what, they are. All right, everyone,
How you
thank you.
doing, Jerry?
Okay, Chris,
Why don't you come on in, we'll talk. Let me know what's going on with the school board.
Good.
I was watching most of it. You wanna come around that way? So you don't have to go up the ramp?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, come around, I'll meet you over there.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Jim Thorpe, we have lots of money. We can fund all of the other 4 districts.
Hey, that's all I'm asking for.
Are you still working on that, have
For the
one
turtle to finish
superintendent
the
for all of
race.
them?
What's that?
Are you still working on have one superintendent for all of them?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
That comes, you know where that comes from?
Well,
Rock. Over at
I
VOCAC,
have
where we all
the
meet
number.
once a month.
That used to be like
I don't know if you're looking for your house.
Yes.